Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine. Wasn't there a Netflix show on 3 identical people who didn't know who they were not related? What was it about?
It was three triplets who got separated at birth.
Was that what it was?
I think, and then they find out they've been part of like a social experiment in the States, and it's like really fucked up.
What?
Yeah, it's mad.
I mean to watch that. I keep scrolling past it and it looks really good.
Yeah, watch it. It's really good.
They wanted to do it because they wanted to see if nature and nurture is the same thing. So if you put it, if three triplets who born from the same DNA, if they were put in separate lives, would their lives be different? And it's actually pretty sad.
What was their conclusion? Was it?
One of them. It's pretty miserable.
But go watch it. I'm actually interested because I've always said that I'm really confident that it would be very much like environment based and how you were raised, rather than so much your genetics. But I guess
environment is really important.
Yeah.
I think it's way more important than genetics.
So.
Do you think so?
Genetics are actually influenced by your environment. They're realizing epigenetics is that.
He thinks that monkeys, apes ate mushrooms, and that's what turned them into humans.
Well, that is a theory.
Here we go.
They think that it's slowly,
like magic mushrooms.
It slowly expanded their awareness and their brains. Because there's a period in history where the size of brain of these particular apes just expanded rapidly, and they can't understand how it happened.
What did that?
And they think that they were eating the dung of these cows that had been eating psilocybin mushrums. And they think that it expanded their awareness.
That doesn't sound like a bad shout to be fair.
Yeah.
I was doesn't sound
what
like
are you
bad.
talking about?
Okay, how did it happen then?
I don't know.
You have to have a counter if you're gonna try and poo-poo it.
You can't really debate if you don't really have a counter. You can't just go.
We'd like to get your thoughts on Moses. We on this podcast believe that Moses deserves to be on fraud watch. And that's because of the fact that he managed to part the Red Sea by doing that. And we'd just like to get, and not only that, but then we'd also like to talk about Noah's Ark and how the fuck he got everyone on a boat.
Wow. Jamie's highly religious, so this is going to be.
So this is my so this should be right up your street.
Oh, this really is. Thank God I read it this morning. Noah's Ark is mad. Like Noah's Ark. Imagine if. So, like, a voice came to you and said you had to build an ark. Like I didn't even know how to build a shelf, let alone an ark. So I feel like it's the most intense.
What do you think we could whisper in one of our mates' ears whilst they're asleep, and then they go and do it?
Like they had an epiphany.
They've been spoken to by God.
Building an ark.
Build an ark.
And then getting all the animals on there.
Yeah, it could have happened.
That's a tough ask, but that's what we're saying. Like Noah managed to make his own ark. Moses managed to look at the Red Sea and just move everything out of his fucking way. Like,
it's complete cap.
It has to be cap.
It has to
be. This is why we
just stood there and gone.
Guys, it wouldn't be in a book if it wasn't true.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Actually.
Very true.
So what do you think happens when we die then?
I think there's something after we die, but that's got nothing to do with fucking Noah doing all this mad shit.
What do you reckon? That was Moses.
I think that the consciousness will go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a universal consciousness.
This man's out on a different wave.
Where will your consciousness go?
He took mushrooms.
I don't know. I feel like
he took mushrooms once during lockdown. And
I feel like your body is connected to the consciousness, which is somewhere else. It's like
I'm with you. Basically, our body's like an avatar.
We're like a shell. It's like a vessel.
The conscious mind. I always think it's like we're a vessel, right? And it's connected to something else universal.
Do you know what tripanning is? No. Ooh, this stuff is intense.
Sounds like a sex
so tripanning is basically where
me and the boys were tripanning.
Yeah, you boys.
You're doing that in the lift.
You've been tripanning. You boys been tripanning. No, tripanning is basically where it's really intense. But the Aztecs basically believed that your spinal fluid and your whatever fluid, people are going to correct me, but it's not mixing together. So what they used to do is they would drill a hole into your skull. And that would get the brain flow going, and so then you'd have a constant euphoria, and that believes so all the sort of higher, the higher, people in the Aztecs would get it done because then they would receive from things, and people still to this day tripan themselves.
They did it. They did it in like medieval.
Wait, you're drilling in a hole into your skull. You're getting the Bosch.
In Britain, I think they thought that it was releasing the devil that was like caught inside your head.
So
drill a hole into your skull.
So tripanning. So it was done. It was surgically done by someone recently. Her name was Amanda something. I can't remember. She's big. So tripanning, also trepanation. Basically, just make a hole in your head. Yeah. Oh
and did it actually work for her, or?
Yeah. She believes that she says it got rid of all of her anxiety and all of her depression and all of everything.
It's also really easy
Do
to
not
get
go
pissed
out there
through
and
your head.
please don't
Yeah, please
drill
don't
in your
drill in your head.
hole.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please do not go out and do any of this. This
Can
is
you
just,
imagine?
this is, oh God. Yeah, don't go and do it, but it's,
No.
it's intense.
That's interesting.
Jay, what's your meeting about later? You getting
Tripanning,
Japan?
yeah.
yeah.
Is that
Trepanning.
why you're wearing a...
Yeah.
A hat here.
I
yeah,
reckon
he's
out of all of us, says Chip, you would be the one to fall into a cult.
I would.
he would, mate. This guy
I
would.
was just thinking about we should all
Which
try
cult to
DMT
choose?
together.
DMT.
Yeah.
You can't just say, you can't just go and try DMT.
Why not?
All four of
No.
us, we hit a little bit of DMT.
Wait, have you tried DMT? Have you tried it?
No.
Oh wow.
I haven't tried
Okay.
it.
Well, maybe
I
maybe
haven't
at some
tried
point
drugs.
when I get the opportunity, I will report
I'm
back.
scared
on the
to
podcast.
try it though, because apparently it can just change your life. Like,
I like that.
yeah, but like,
If only there was someone with an experience that we could talk to. but-
I've done ayahuasca in the jungle. I did that, which is
What's that?
yeah, I did ayahuasca, which is like a cactus drink.
Ayahuasca is essentially the long form of DMT. Like DMT will give you like in 15 minutes what ayahuasca does over like.
It was the worst thing I've ever done.
Okay.
It was the worst thing I've ever done. I was 18 at the time, went into the Bolivian jungle with a guy called Johnny Cash, and
I love these
Mate,
stories.
Johnny Cash, wasn't
Johnny Cash,
wasn't
the
he?
guy that
Wasn't
makes
he?
it
Yeah,
shit.
In a burning
Yeah,
ring of
yeah,
fire,
I
I'm
really
going
like-
down.
This is where I don't believe your story. It's like
No, honestly.
I was with Johnny Cash.
Listen,
Elvis was just behind us.
So we were in. I was in Bolivia, and we went to La Paz, which is the highest city in the world. And I got the worst food poisoning in the world, and I was like on death's door. Honestly, I was like, I've never had it where I thought, if I died, I think I'd be happier. Honestly, I was in so much pain. I felt awful.
This is from the ayahuasca.
No, this is not from the ayahuasca. This is
right.
before. Anyway, I went to hospital. They asked me to like poo and shit like into this thing. Anyway, I did it all. Anyway, they gave me these steroids. It was much better. And then I walked
This is
out.
from food poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning, worst food poisoning. And then I got out of there, and as I walked out, I was with my 3 friends, and we came across a guy called Johnny Cash. And Johnny Cash,
Don't reckon it was.
I just can't get the name right.
yeah, it's Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, and he said, "Do you guys want to experience your lifetime?" And I went, "Boy, do I!" Because I was just off the back.
Come to my gig tonight.
Yeah, come to my gig tonight. And he said, "If you give me $50 each, $50 you have to remember in Bolivia is extortionate. That is like a lot of money." And we'll fly you, and you can go and do the most amazing experience of your life. And he showed me all these pictures of these people fishing, and I was like, "This is glorious! Going to go to Utopia." Anyway, we got on this flight, and my friend.
So you do it. You pay the $50.
We paid the $50, got on the flight, and we went into the middle of Bolivian jungle, and the plane was like rickety. It was like pouring rain. We get on this car. It's like but truck, drive into the middle of the Amazon jungle, and I suddenly thought, "Fuck, we've been kidnapped." That's what's happened. We paid to be kidnapped. We paid to be kidnapped. Anyway, long story short, we went in, did the ayahuasca, and it was the worst experience. I puked for hours and then just thought I was a truffle pig. So I just kept looking.
Sorry, can you show us?
I just kept
Can you show us what you
digging
did?
in the mud for truffles, and then I came out of this weird hellhole of experience. We got on this coach and went back. Never saw Johnny Cash again. He went. The whole thing was mad.
What
yeah.
about the others? Did they have a bad experience too?
Some of them were just puking. I think 18 years old, you don't really have anything, because what you're meant to do is you're meant to like repent of your body, and
I
just don't think we had
feel
anything to
like
repent. We're 18.
you're wound up too tight. I don't think you would allow yourself to.
You gotta be free.
You gotta, yeah. You
unclench
gotta
your
be
bum.
free.
Yeah, we do have some ice here as
Amazing.
well.
Gee, we need to start doing this on our podcast. Look, they're giving us drinks.
All right.